'em back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
Hello, this is Nick Rossetti, Routt Catholic High School principal, and I'm recording our orientation that we did today with our 10th through 12th graders for any parents who would like to view the orientation materials, or for any students who were not able to join us today. So we'll jump right in. So we have some new faculty and staff members with us this year. We have 3 new faculty members. Mrs. Morwell, who will be in our tutoring and doing 9th grade skills. Mrs. Stinson, who will be a part-time math teacher. And Mrs. Dr. Zeck, who is going to be our upper level junior and senior English teacher. So welcome those teachers when you see them. We also have a new person in our food service department. Mrs. Rave is the new food service director, and she actually began with us in the spring, but she is now our food service director. Along with those new faculty members, we have some changes to some of our returning faculty assignments. Mrs. Terhark will be taking over all Spanish instruction, as well as continuing with AP English 4. And Mr. Herring will now be full-time in the math department. He will be still teaching his dual credit classes through Lincoln Land in the afternoons, but he will be teaching regular Routt math classes in the morning. So welcome to our new faculty and staff, and we're excited to begin the new year. So we have changed some things because of the COVID-19, and one of those things is our morning arrival procedure. So all students will still enter through the north or south doors in the lobby, but those will be the only doors that students may enter. And as soon as they enter into the building, we will do a temperature screening to make sure that they are under the threshold of 100.4 degrees. When they pass the screening, then they go on to a questionnaire screening of COVID-19 symptoms. And those students who pass both of those screenings then proceed upstairs to their locker, put their materials away for the day, get things ready for the morning classes, and then report directly to their first period class, and they wait there. So there won't be students hanging out in the lobby or the gym or the library or even in the hallways, unfortunately. They have to go to a classroom where we can get them seated and spaced as best as possible. The one difference about arrival is our doors will not open until 7:45 a.m. In the past, our doors have opened as early as 7:15 when we've had early bird PE in the building, but we will not be opening till 7:45. That will give us a chance to screen all faculty and staff before they have any interaction with students, and to get us in place for the student screening. If the weather is inclement and students, we are not going to make them wait outside in rain or cold weather. We will bring them inside, but we will have to keep them lined appropriately and spaced appropriately when they're in the building. So we ask that students, as soon as they get out of their cars, whether they are driving or whether they are being dropped off, to please put on their masks at that time. They have to have their mask on when they enter the building. Our daily schedule also has been modified a little bit. We have extended our passing periods from 3 minutes to 4 minutes between each period. And that is because we are going to let students move from class to class in groups. Our freshmen and sophomores will move in a group, and then our juniors and seniors. And this is to cut down on the congestion in the hallways and to make sure that we don't have a lot of contact between the students, some congregation, gathering at lockers, those types of things. The hallways have all been designated to be split and going in each direction. Stairwells have been assigned specific directions, and we are limiting locker access, and I'll touch base on that in just a moment. We will have an extended period of time between 3rd and 4th periods to allow students to go to their lockers at that time in small groups and to collect their materials needed for the next group of classes. But as far as going to lockers between each class during the day, we are going to restrict that quite a bit to only a couple times in the day, again, to prevent any kind of congestion in the locker rooms. So students will gather their materials before school starts for periods 1 through 3. And after 3rd period, there will be a time for them to go to their locker, drop off those materials, pick up materials for their classes until lunch. They will obviously be able to go to their locker during lunch, before and after, pick up their lunch, drop off their books, and then vice versa at the end of lunch period. And then that will be the last time they stop at their locker until the end of the school day. So, in light of that, and students carrying multiple books, we are allowing backpacks and book bags to be taken from class to class by our students. Now, we have removed desks from classrooms to give us more spacing, so that allows us to give the students the opportunity to bring their backpacks and book bags. There's not going to be the congestion in the aisles as there would be if all of the desks were in the classroom. So we're trying to do everything we can to keep things as normal as possible, but we are still taking as many precautions as we can to keep our students and faculty and staff safe. Some other general COVID-19 procedures is, before school, parents were asking you, check your child's health before they leave your house. Ask them if they feel okay. Take a temperature if they seem a little bit warm. If they're sick, keep them home. Along with these COVID-19 procedures, we are suspending our 6 parent call day policy at this time. If students are sick, we want them to stay home. We don't want them to bring that illness into the building if we can. Masks, students must properly wear their mask at all times while they're in the building, other than during lunch. And so that means they have to have them over the nose, below the chin, snug on the sides, all right? We are giving each student a Routt mask, and I have one handy with me. So each student receives one of these free. They are adjustable, elastic straps. They are cloth. They're very comfortable. I've been wearing mine around for a couple days now and getting used to it, and it is very comfortable. They may also wear a plain colored cloth mask if they have some at home. We are not going to allow at this time masks with patterns or insignias or logos or phrases. But as things move ahead and things go, if they go as planned, then we may allow those on special days, maybe something like a Routt day or some type of a special mask day. Also, students who forget, or if something happens to their mask, it falls off, it gets dirty, or it rips or tears, we have the temporary paper masks in the office that we can let a student wear for that day. But that again is temporary. We are not going to give the students a new mask every day. After a day or two, we're going to require them to purchase another mask. We have extra of the Routt masks. The price has not yet been determined, but it's going to be about $7 for a new one of those. So they have to have those on as soon as they come in the building. Actually, we're going to stop them at the threshold if they're not wearing their mask. We are not going to allow the neck gaiters or bandanas, face shields. Those may not be worn. They have to be a mask that protects not only themselves, but it's really protecting those the other people in the school. So as they say, I'm wearing my mask to protect you and vice versa. Now, students will be able to remove their masks during lunch period, and we'll talk about lunch here in just a little bit. And I've asked the study hall teachers that if there's an opportunity to take the class outside, let them spread apart, socially distance, and they can remove their mask then also to give them a break. So, and it may be where I may come to study hall and see if any kids want to go, because some may be working and they may need to use that study hall time. So we're not going to force them to go outside, but we want to give them the opportunity when we can. And teachers also have the opportunity to take their class outside and again, with appropriate spacing, conduct class outside where the students may be able to remove their masks. We are encouraging extra hand cleaning. We have hand sanitizing stations in every classroom, and we have purchased some additional hand sanitizing stands right inside each of our doorways. So we're going to keep reminding the students to clean, wash your hands, use the hand sanitizer. Don't touch other people's things, and don't touch other objects excessively if they can afford not doing that. Spacing, we're going to try and keep those students 6 feet apart if possible, or a greater distance, even when they're wearing their mask. As I said, the masks are on all day while they're here inside the building. We're going to try and discourage them from congregating in the hallways, gathering at lockers, bunching up when they're waiting in line. We have marks on the floors, spacing them out for when they're in the lunch line or when they are waiting to come in the building to be screened, at the water fountains, that type of thing. So we have markings on the floors, as I said, the hallways, we have signs. We really, there's no reason a student shouldn't understand which direction they're going or up and down which stairway. We've done a really nice job on getting all that signage out. Voices, we're encouraging the students, no singing, yelling in the building. That just increases the opportunity for particles to be spread. Desk cleaning. At the end of each class period, each student will be given a paper towel by the teacher. The teacher has a spray bottle of disinfectant. The teacher will spray the desk that the students are in. Each student will clean their own desk. That way they're not cross-contaminating anyone, and then they can throw that paper towel in the trash on the way out. The teacher doesn't have the risk of touching someone else's contact area. The student does their own desk, and that way it's clean for the next group coming in. Our drinking fountains, we have disabled the drinking fountain portion of those. They can still use their bottles filling station, and we are encouraging students to bring their own water bottle. Again, it has to be a clear resealable bottle. No coffee, drinks, soda, sports drinks, teas, juice, any of that. Plain water in a clear bottle, but they can take those from class to class, really as they always have been able to. But as far as using the fountains to drink out of, we are discouraging that. And lunch. I mentioned lunch a little bit. For one thing, we have split our classes into 2 lunch periods. We've never had 2 lunch periods since in my 6 years here. So we have an A lunch and a B lunch. So that right there splits our lunch periods into 60 kids per lunch period. But we know we can't have more than 50 in one room. So within that lunch period, we are also going to split locations. We have spacing for 48 students in the Martha Routt room, and those that are in excess of that, we are going to take to an alternate location to eat lunch. Now that might be outside if the weather is permitting, if it's not too hot or raining or too cold, or into the gymnasium to sit in the bleachers. Now, since they will be without masks, they will have to stay a minimum of 6 feet away. We're going to kind of not have them facing each other as much as possible. In the Martha Routt room, once they reach their chair at their designated space, and we have 4 chairs per each long table. So that's why we're able to space them so far apart with only 48. But once they reach their table or their chair, they can take off their mask at that point. If they get up for seconds or to take their tray back to the window for cleaning or for the trash, we're asking them to put their mask back on. While they're up and about, when they return to their seat, they can take their mask off. Our school masses, unfortunately, we're only going to be able to take 1 grade level per school mass each time we go. So this Friday will be our school mass for the Bible distribution. So our freshmen and any transfers will go. The rest of the student body will be watching the mass live streamed from the classrooms here in the school, and we'll rotate each group throughout the year as we have our school masses scheduled. There may be an opportunity if we can put 2 classes together and still meet the capacity limits of the church. We will do that later in the year, but for now we're going with 1 grade level for each mass. Other than what we've talked about for COVID, there aren't many changes. We've done a little bit of painting in the parking lot out back, and so some of the spaces have changed. The visitor spots we had to take and use for our handicap parking because the handicap parking was just not accessible. It was buried in the corner behind those bollards. So that is now my parking space. Handicap space has taken over the visitor spot, and there is 1 visitor spot on the top of the hill right up from the north door. So anything that is in yellow is reserved, but that includes the visitor spot. All student parking is in white painted spaces. So the students and if you're coming to visit, please note that. Bus service, District 117 bus service will begin next Monday, the 24th, and we must have a permission slip on file for your student to ride the bus. Now please understand, if Jacksonville School District goes to remote learning, I do not believe they will be running buses even if we are still in person. So please have alternate plans in place just in case of that situation. One thing we want to remind, or we did remind the students this morning at orientation, was their laptops. All of the students were given their laptops today, and we reminded them that those are property of Routt Catholic High School. The laptops are our property. The network that they log into to access the internet is our property. And so we have software embedded into our server that filters and flags any kind of inappropriate or concerning content, whether that be language, profanity, references to drugs, alcohol, references to suicide, and that also counts for if they're doing reports. We know that the students in health class do a report on drugs and such. Those are flagged, and the students continue to do those. Those are okay. It's just that we wanted them to know that that type of content is monitored and flagged. Any kinds of graphics or kinds of photographs that show weapons or have specific codes that are run through the algorithm, those are flagged. And then an email is sent to me to check it out and see. The computer software itself doesn't determine whether it's appropriate or inappropriate. They just know it's on a list or an algorithm of warning words. So we really emphasize to the students that if they're sending email with their Routt.com email, Google Classroom, anything they're doing in the Google network of programs, if they're logging onto the network, those things all get flagged and they're all monitored by the school. Not because we're worried about what they're saying or anything, but we want to make sure everybody's safe. And we want to make sure, and I don't sit at my computer and monitor what the kids are doing on their laptops, just like I don't monitor what the video cameras are showing. But there are tools that in case something does happen or there is a concern, we have some resources to go back to, and hopefully we can prevent something bad from happening before it happens. Just a reminder, there is still time to go out for this fall sports that we are hosting. Boys and girls golf, boys and girls cross country, and that is with a co-op with Springfield Lutheran, and girls swimming. So there's still opportunities to participate in those this fall. Please see Coach Creviston if you are interested in that. We'll get you the information. But other than that, we are going to do everything we can to continue in-person learning. You're welcome to come and see the building. I put out a list of things that we have done, from physical spacing to modifying our schedules, just a variety of different things that we have done to try to prevent the sickness, the illness from coming into our building. But we need your help. We are only with your children from 8 to 2:45 each day. And so we need you to help us keep this virus out of our building. Encourage your children to wear masks when they're out in public. Encourage them to make good decisions as far as gathering. And I know they're teenagers, and I know they want to be with their friends and near their friends. And believe me, it was amazing to see them this morning after 5 months. It's 5 months and 4 days since they walked out the door here on March 13th. So we were thrilled. The teachers were thrilled to see him, and I was thrilled to see him, and the support staff were thrilled, and they were thrilled to see each other and the teachers. So we want to keep it going as long as we can. So in closing, we'd just like to say we are doing everything that we can here at Routt Catholic High School to maintain a safe environment for our students, our faculty and staff, our administration, our visitors, everyone who enters our building. We're excited to begin this school year, and if you have any questions, please contact us at the school via email, telephone. We will answer all of your questions, and we look forward to the 2020-21 school year. Thank you.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place. days that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya?
Who'd have thought they'd lead ya?
Back here where we need ya.
Back here where we need ya.
Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene